Charles Oliveira versus Gamrot has now been confirmed for the main event of UFC Fight Night Rio. Yo, this is the end of Charles Oliveira. Oh, this is the end. Hold your breath and count to 10. I'm on some Adele type shit there, but yeah, Oliveira's gonna lose to Gamrot. Gamrot has bullied Oliveira into taking this fight because, as we've seen in the coming days, Oliveira did not want that smoke with Gamrot at all. And Oliveira was criticising Benoit Saint-Denis for not taking the fight. He was criticising basically everyone in the lightweight division. But then Gamrot came calling and Oliveira said that he didn't really want that fight. It wasn't the style that he was training for. So Gamrot proceeds to bully this guy on social media. Yes, you heard me right. Gamrot, yeah? Gamrot. Bullies Oliveira into the point where Oliveira now has to take this fight. What could have been a special moment for Oliveira in Viva la Brasilia is now going to be a nightmare for him. Gamrot's going to beat him. I'm going to be honest. Look, Gamrot has that brother wrestling style that Oliveira just can't seem to work around. Now, don't get me wrong. Gamrot, I wouldn't say he's chinny. He is hittable. He has been hurt in a couple of fights. We've seen that before. Oliveira is a big puncher. Oliveira is a better striker than Gamrot. Oliveira has the most submission wins in UFC history. We know how much of a threat Oliveira is on the mat. Look at what he's been able to do to Dustin Poirier, Justin Gaethje, Tony Ferguson. How Tony Ferguson didn't tap to that armbar, and seeing other fighters that I can think of, the amount of times he nearly submitted Arman Tsarukyan. But this is a key component into this fight. Look at the Arman Tsarukyan fight, for an example. Oliveira spent way too long on his back in that fight, and that's going to be the same in this one. Gamrot is going to be able to take down Charles Oliveira, and Oliveira is going to spend too long looking for submissions off his back, which he won't be able to get on Gamrot. I'm not saying he can't submit Gamrot, I'm just saying I don't really think he'll be able to get Gamrot in them. Gamrot will then rack up control time on Charles Oliveira and win the fight based off that. That's my prediction for this fight. Now, who do I want to win? Oliveira, obviously. I would love to see Oliveira get that moment in Viva la Brasilia. But Gamrot's got that style that Oliveira won't be able to deal with. Oliveira won't be able to defend his takedowns at all. Gamrot's got really good chain wrestling as well. If you are able to defend the initial takedown, he will go again and again and again. But he is hittable. Gamrot isn't amazing on the feet. He doesn't have punch power either. So Oliveira, even though he's coming off that brutal knockout to Ilia Topuria a couple months back, he won't have to worry about the punch power of a Gamrot because Gamrot doesn't have any punch power at all. And Gamrot isn't really a crazy submission threat. I don't think he'd be able to submit Charles Oliveira, but I do think he'll be able to out-wrestle him. Stay in dominant positions. I think you'll be able to get the likes of half guard and hold Oliveira there. I think even if he's in Oliveira's guard, he will do a good job of keeping himself safe in there, not giving Oliveira anything to latch up on. And I think Gamrot beats him by decision. And that hurts because this is probably it for Oliveira. If Oliveira loses to Gamrot, he may as well put the gloves down in Brazil. That's it. If he loses to Gamrot in Brazil, put the gloves down, my boy. You had a good career. Move on. See you later. But yeah, Gamrot bullied this guy into this fight. Gamrot is on smoke. Gamrot is BMF. Gamrot is more BMF than Justin Gaethje has ever been in his entire life. Arman Tsarukyan should be released and sent to the PFL because instead of taking fights, he would rather grapple 906-year-old Benson Henderson while he sits out and waits for a title fight, which you will not be getting. Paddy Pimblett, he's fat 90% of the time, no disrespect, he can't make weight on short notice. Dan Hooker, he's injured all the time. Max Holloway, too big of a name for it to be a short notice replacement. Moicano, back-to-back losses, don't want to see it. Benoit Saint-Denis lied, said that after the Mauricio Huffy fight that he would be ready to step in, he lied. Gamrot's the guy. Gamrot's going to beat him. Gamrot's game to fight anybody. Gamrot beats Oliveira by decision. Moving on to something else I want to cover in today's video. We have got RDR saying, nah, fuck off, I'm next, when he was asked about who is next for Khamzat Chimaev. Now, let's just clear one thing up. RDR is not next for the title. RDR's now fighting Brendan Allen. RDR could hit Brendan Allen with a Jorge Masvidal, Ben Askren type knee. He still wouldn't go above Imavov, in my opinion. There's nothing he can do in the fight against Brendan Allen that would make him jump Imavov, in my opinion. There was nothing he would be able to do in the Anthony Hernandez fight that would make him jump Imavov, in my opinion. Imavov is the most underrated fighter right now, one of in the UFC. He's the most deserving contender right now in the UFC. Let's quickly look at his last run of form. Roman Dolidze, ranked. Jared Cannonier, ranked. Brendan Allen, ranked. Israel Adesanya, ranked. Former champion. Caio Borralho, ranked. This guy has the best resume right now in the middleweight division. Now, I see people say, well, Imavov won't beat Khamzat Chimaev. And I understand that. I don't think Imavov beats him. I also don't think RDR beats him. And if the UFC give the title fight to RDR without offering it to Imavov first, the rankings mean absolute jackdiddle squat. They should be abolished from the UFC if that's the case. The fucking promotion went down the drain. Imavov's fighting for the belt next. There's nothing RDR can do to put himself above Imavov, in my opinion. But yeah, let me know, what do you think of the Oliveira fight in the comments below? And who do you think should fight Khamzat next? Is it RDR? Is it Imavov? Let me know. Like, share, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. And I will see you all again in the next one.